Look what we just dragged in. That's it, I guess.
That's it, yeah.
Well, guys, we're finally able to get this thing out of the guy's backyard.
Yeah, we ended up using all the chains and ropes and even the
twine we had. We used everything. Hey, it knows where it wants to go.
I think I'm going to put the truck away so...
Yeah, we can just drop this down.
Okay.
Yeah. Krager SS rims, 14-inch flavor. I don't think we'll be using those. All right, guys, so we got the car offloaded from the trailer, sitting here in front of the shop, and just looking at it, it's got some really sweet lines. Just check out that shoulder line. It's so much more aerodynamic than an original Charger. Yeah. What we have here is a 1974 Dodge Charger. Came with a 318 with a whopping 150 horsepower and 255 foot-pounds of torque. You know, they say 1972 was really considered the last year of the true muscle car, but this car still has the nice lines that the 72 still had. Little cosmetic changes here and there, but I think we can work with that. Now, first things first, we gotta see what's going on here with this paint. It's a little oxidized, don't you think? And this green, this might come off. I see somebody's painted a 21 down in here. I think that's for speed.
Don't you think you might work better in the shop, checking all that out?
Yeah, the sun's kind of bright. You shouldn't be polishing in the sun.
What do you think we pour some gas into her? Maybe check and see if the key works?
You think it'll start?
Hey, it's a Mopar. It's got to go.
Let's try it. What?
Hey, wake up.
Is it done yet?
What is this? Daydreaming?
A guy can dream, right? Now, first things first, we gotta see what's going on here with this paint. It's a little oxidized, don't you think? And this green, this might come off. I see somebody's painted a 21 down in here. I think that's for speed.
Don't you think you might work better in the shop, checking all that out?
Yeah, the sun's kind of bright. You shouldn't be polishing in the sun. Well, that was fun. This car, every time we move it, is literally tearing itself apart. Where the front ties into the firewall, it's crumbling. Like it left a pile like this on the trailer on both sides where the subframe rails were of just rot. The shackles in the back, they're up through the floor. It's all paper mache back there. This car was sitting in about a foot of water. We barely got it out. I didn't think we would get it out. We went to check the car out earlier in the year when it was frozen, thinking we'd get in and do that. No way. It was frozen into the ground. So today, this morning, we went out, it dried up a little bit, enough for us to back up and get the chain hooked up to, or a series of chains hooked up to the winch, a length of rope just to reach in far enough and just snag this car out of that backyard. So here we have it at the shop. Let's go around the car and show you what we're working with. I can stick my fingers through the front cowl here. It's you know, it's a sad sight. We did lose the windshield, unfortunately. As we went to pull it, we hooked up by something that we could hook onto, a subframe there. And as we started pulling, it just, I guess the back was in so far into the mud, it just snapped and it just started coming apart. So we had to reach back to the axle, throw something around that, and pull everything together as a whole. Let's see if this hood, yes, opens. So there we have it, the underside of the hood. We're gonna have to do something about that. There's a lot of rust. There's some pinholes. It's a little bit crunchy up in here. We'll see. Front inner fenders, they have become detached from the body. There's more holes in here. I can see the floor in the car. Pretty scary. You may be shaking your head, but anybody who's watched our channel will know that we do things with purpose. Come on, open up. So the door's open, the handle's open, work. Don't have an interior door handle or window crank. There's a vice grip on the other side to kind of help us out with that. That came with the car, which is pretty cool. The dash, again, just totally burnt, crisped, finished. Surprisingly, the steering wheel is still good. That's cool. I like that. You can see daylight through the quarters there. Try to get in here. It's not bad overall. The roof has a bit of rust. You can see that there. Front floors look really solid if you like fiberglass. There's fiberglass there and there. So that's why they look good there, but from the underside, yeah, look at this here, where it ties in, the rockers, it's gone. Somebody's done some rust repair here with filler, and they refer to this as kick and fill. There you go. So, not worried about that. Hinges are really talking. Getting from the underside, inner rockers. Like I'm getting into the structure of the car before actually telling you what we're going to be doing with it, just so you can appreciate why we're going to do what we're going to do with this car. We're saving it. Just undid the trunk latch. As you can see, we've got the lowrider option with the shackles up inside the trunk. It does give it a nice stance back here, nice and low. Rear pan, gone. We do have wiring here. Interesting. You see the quarters. You look there and there. Once I move that, they've been sucked in because somebody tried to pull it, not us. Somebody tried to pull it by that trunk latch loop. There's no latch up above, it's gone, so we'll have to figure something out for that. The underside of the trunk lid is good. You see, the paint is pretty shiny. Okay, bonus. Yeah, this trough is rusted through. I want to pull that rear glass out, pull the side glass out, so that we can save it. The rest of it is, the front windshield obviously is garbage. Some bumper brackets there, that's good. And the center section is surprisingly okay. And the tubs are good. See that? However, everything else is gone. So these valance panels, aside from a few dents, that one's from a Challenger. Aside from a few dents, we do have signal lights. They can be repaired. Little crack down there. This is a really nice looking car. The 74 Charger, the Chargers in general, had a very nice shape. I especially love this window area. The windows do not go down, they're fixed, see, bolted there. They do have a provision for cranks, and we might incorporate power windows. We'll see where this project takes us. Steering column, steering wheel, that's okay. We'll leave that together for now. The dash is not broken, and like I said, 21,000 kilometers, or miles I should say. Window crank. And one more thing I want to show you. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but when I close the door, watch this area here. It's actually moving in and out as this door is closed. And that's a result of rotten floors. This is literally separated from the floors. This is moving. We have our work cut out for us. There's a big crease in the quarter panel. Something's hit it. There's a bunch of filler, a lot of filler. Filler peeling out of here. Wow, look at that. Pretty color. Now, before I get into what we're going to do with this car, I'd like to hear in the comments what you guys would do if this was your car, if you picked this car up, say, for the right price. Put down in the comments. It'd be an interesting read. Now, today's video is just mainly a getting ready for the next stage, preparing the shell for what we're going to be doing with this. And in the next couple videos, I'm afraid I might get the name Dr. Nick, because we're going to be doing a lot of surgery to turn this 74 Charger into a 320 horsepower all-wheel drive monster, street monster. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're saving the spirit of the car. It was a muscle car back in the day, yes, but this is going to handle corners just as well as it takes off the line. So stay tuned for when we actually get into the build. Today is preparation, and it's something I don't really like, is cutting things up. It hurts a little bit, but in the end, we're saving most of the car, because to restore the suspension and all that other stuff underneath after been sitting in that field for who knows how long, well, I guess since 91, it's pretty much shot. So hope you enjoy this series, and let's get started. So here's a little better view of the trunk now that I've pulled out those valance panels. You saw a clear picture of that one earlier, but this one here, it's actually maintained most of the sheet metal rigidity, just elevated it about 6 inches from where it's supposed to be. It's twisted this whole panel, and when I pull up on this rear section, you can see the subframe rails have separated from the trunk floor. There are no subframe rails on this side. Can't show much over here. So we're going to get the deck lid as well as the hood removed, and probably elevate it a bit and make it a bit easier to work on. Pull the glass, and then get the plasma out and start slicing, or I should say dissecting, this car up. We don't want to make a mess of it, because we want to reuse a lot of this upper portion here, the roof, the glass, all that, but that's where it's going to end. Everything, well, that part there has to be saved because of the hinges, but the firewall, the tunnel, that old booster there, that's all going to go bye-bye. And even though this windshield's busted, I'm going to try and take it out as one piece. I don't want to deal with shards of glass all over the inside. We got lucky. Almost ended up in one of those subframe rails. So for those of you who've never pulled off a hood by themselves, I'm removing the front bolts first, leaving the back ones because it's cantilevering over the hinges. Once I remove the back ones, it's going to flip forward, so we have to brace the front. Use a nice hefty 3x4. And that way, when we go down to the back, all it's going to do is just slide down. If this was painted, you'd probably want to put rags under here and protect the corners. But in this case, I'm not too worried about scratching the paint. Different size bolts, bolt heads. Okay. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, because we need to kind of steady it while we take out the last bolt. That's fine. See what I mean about cantilever? Okay, it's a little bit of weight here. Wow. Wow. I don't know if you guys heard all that rust sliding down inside these rails. We might end up separating the two sections to get rid of the rust. We'll see. Right now, this is going to go into storage. There's no dents in it, no major dents. A little crease in the middle and along the peak, but the rest of the hood is primo condition, so I want to keep it that way, well, except for the rust. What I've set up here is called a Vic trap. When my dad comes in opening this door, okay, let's cut this windshield out. So I'm going to keep you guys over there where you're safe and comfortable. And while I'm in here crammed, trying to cut this out without making more of a mess. As I'm stepping on the floor, I can feel my feet kind of pushing down through. It's not a good feeling. And I do have my tetanus shot. Put this here. Let me know if any more cracks appear. Oops, I think it broke. Okay, now the reason I want to take out the door glass is because I don't want any sparks landing on it, burning it, you know, that's the last thing you want to do. So there's a couple stops and a couple tracks that we have to undo. As they say, we're in the money. We're in the money. Bunch of pennies in here, which we don't use anymore in Canada. It's okay. Wow, this dash is really crunchy. The sun's gotten to it. Oh, another penny. And really, it's, I guess we could rewrap it, refoam it, rewrap it. We'll keep the dash around. Any more money? No more money. Okay. So there's a little stopper or retainer clip, I guess, for the interior moldings, which pull that out. And 3 bolts. Easy there. Little wiggle wiggle, and this glass should pop out. There we go, one piece of glass. Chrysler glass, little Pentastar there. And normally on something like this, we can bag and tag our fasteners, or we can put them right back where we got them from. Temporarily, until we go to see what we need to do in terms of priming and cleaning and all that stuff. Right now it's disassembly. This retainer is missing on this side for the molding for the interior panels. The more you look at this car, the worse it gets. I gotta wiggle it out of here. Do we go inside? Inside, there we go. Looks good. Okay, so with this back glass, I was thinking of using a wire to cut it out. However, I'm going to try this tool here. We're down in a reveal, and I don't want to scratch the paint too much. We're into silicone or some kind of hard caulking. Shoot. Why do they do that? To stop leaks, I guess.
Okay, go on the other side. Gently push the top and see if the whole top moves. Okay.
I'm just going up.
Yeah, don't lean it back. Because
No,
it's got a convex to it, it'll break.
Yep. It's pretty thin. Okay.
Still glued.
All right, guys, project update. Glass is all out, except for the door glass. That's down inside the doors. That's gonna be fine for now. This one's out, rear window's out. There was a little heater type of defroster that they had to defrost the back window. We pulled that out. Cool little piece, where to go? Right here. So, a little motor, blew air into a duct, and that defrosted the back window. And up front here, we've taken off these knee knocker bumper brackets because we've both knocked our knees on about 251.3 times each. And right now we're trying to figure out where to pick this thing up because, like I mentioned, this thing's mush. We tried picking it up and the right side just coming off. We need to get this high enough so we actually cut off these inner fenders, get up underneath, and get those torsion bar mounts removed. And then we'll just have the car sitting, say, on jack stands so we can take the floors out. We will have to suspend the cab by the chain falls there so that we can remove some more material and get a cart underneath. Your eyes aren't playing tricks. This car is severely bent in front of the firewall. What do you want to go under? The rocker, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
See what happens there.
Yeah. Holy moly. Okay, you guys got to see this.
Well, I'm wondering if those rockers won't take through into the floor.
All right, check out the driver's side floor pan. Lovely set of galvanized sheet metal, and I hear something. And pop rivets, lots of pop rivets. I hear something in this area. Oh, it's a tire inflating. Took the pressure off, now she's inflating. Okay, you see the mount's just totally collapsed. If anybody has any ideas that they're gonna resurrect this car, forget it, she's done. Now we're not going under it, but we want to start cutting so that we can remove this whole front clip assembly. Just take it off, see? Gone. There we have a puddle forming. That's the water leaking out of the car from sitting out in that field for so long. All right, we've made a decision as to how we're going to tackle this dissection. To try and sneak in and cut neatly first time around is very difficult because they've got fiberglass sheeting and stuff in here. You're never going to get through that with a plasma. So we're going to take the big saw. I know you guys love that saw. We're going to take that saw and make a preliminary cut just on the inside of the rockers, just away from them. Cut all the way through these braces. We'll leave the rear deck in place and just take the entire floor out of this car. Coming around to the front. We're going to take these doors off. As you can see, we've got a lot of twisting going on. This thing's lost its shape. It lost its shape a long time ago. It really wouldn't have mattered if we braced it. Rockers are staying put. Those right there on the passenger side for now. And like I said, we'll take the doors off, get them out of the way, and make one big cut right through here. This isn't necessary. This is not going to work with what we need to do. Inner fender's gone, and then we'll worry about all that stuff on the inside after. No sense trying to cut in very neatly and precisely around something that will more than likely, like those tubs, be removed and refabricated later. And there's no sense saving them either. There's nothing left of them. So, gotta get you guys back so we don't get sparks in your eyes. And we're gonna start cutting and cutting and cutting. Whoop. That's why we have this chain fall in this area. It helps us out with stuff like this tremendously. All right, guys, we're gonna make some noise. As much as I'd love to use the plasma, that'll come later. Let's get these doors off. That's it. And there we have 2 chargers. Not really, but you can see all the sandwiching, all this, you know, layering. That's Bondo right there. They just smeared from the inside all their joints with Bondo. Instead of from the other side where the water would be getting in, they took care of it from the inside, and water still got in. So to get through that with the plasma, next to impossible. Stand back. Okay, here we go.
It's leaving.
You okay?
Yeah.
I think it's loose. Are you guys okay?
I brought you a friendly persuader.
Thank you.
Bar. I'm gonna pick this end up some more. Let's see what happens. Guess what?
She be down. A whole bunch of stuff that was in here, patches and whatever, all gone. So you're thinking about restoring a classic car, huh? Well, if you watch this video and you witness how much rust came out of this 74 Charger, you might be having second thoughts. You know, it's really good practice to research a car out really well before you buy it, unlike what I did with this one. Actually, all I cared about was the top section. With this part here, it didn't matter. Because, well, as you can see, there was nothing left of it anyway. Before you buy a car, crawl around underneath, check things out, pull the rugs back, make sure that you got something decent, not Bondo gluing the floor pans in place. Let's go around the car and see what we have left. You might notice the lack of bracing. There was really no point in bracing any more than what we braced, because when we closed the doors, you saw the sides, well, the driver's side moving in and out. So I can't really tell where the original factory width of the body was. Not a problem. Most of it's gonna be gone anyway. We're gonna trim up on those posts, refabricate, and blend them in to the platform we're gonna be using. Stuff like this, we're gonna have to address that. I don't wanna cut too much away just yet. You know, I'm not cut happy or anything like that, but there is an end goal in mind with this. And we'll share that in the maybe next episode or coming episodes. Right now, we had to do the preparation. So let's prepare by going inside the car and showing you what we have. Hey, just in the nick of time.
How's it going?
Very good, come on in.
Wow.
What do you think?
Oh my gosh.
I just finished cleaning up.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's on the floor there. That's what I swept up from under the car. The rest is out in the bin. We can work with this.
Wow.
See, all this down here, the hinge pockets, all have to be rebuilt. But I was just mentioning to the people on YouTube that this is the bracing, this is all the bracing we needed. Because when we closed the door, this whole side of the car was moving in and out.
Yeah.
The other side was the same way. So there's no real point in bracing the width. We're braced up at the rear deck and the firewall top portion. And a lot of this might be cut away too. Depends how we blend it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I never visualized it like this. Wow.
It's a lot lighter.
Oh yeah.
So we're going to get this on the frame table and move it into the other bay. And we're going to study it for a bit before we take next steps. Let's go on the inside. See that? Bondo. A lot of times a magnet trick won't always work with Bondo like this. It's a little too thin for the magnet to, you know, actually the magnet will stick to the metal underneath. If it was thicker, like 1/2 inch, you'd have more trouble. So let's go in underneath. The rear tubs are gone. All that's left is a package. Hey, Big Red. I was looking for you. And there we go. You can walk right out of the trunk and see what we're dealing with back here. Like this was all caved in, or somebody tried pulling the car by the trunk hook back here. Both quarters were in about 1 inch on both sides.
Yeah, well, he tried to make a boat.
Boat tail charger. Hey. No, I think we're gonna stick with plan A. Yeah, this here, a little rusty there, we'll take care of that. We'll have to get the back glass in, make sure all that stuff works. New windshield. But as you can see, we've made a huge jump forward, leap forward. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know some of you aren't a fan of cutting up cars to this degree. You might be saying, what's the point, Nick? You know, there will be, and I promise you it's going to be a good one. I mentioned 320 horsepower. Keep that in mind, and all-wheel drive. So I gotta put this in a safe place. This has gone from Operation Gangrene to Project Gangrene. So stay tuned for when we bring this car back into the shop and start, we might even do something with the donor. Oh, shouldn't have said that. Stay tuned for Project Gangrene. And I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. And I'm really sorry to all the purists out there because, well, that's pure garbage. And there wasn't much left of this car anyway. People somehow know I work on cars and they give me calls to see if I want them. The other call would have been to the junk man and they would have scrapped this. In a sense, we're saving it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps our channel grow, gets it out there. Until next time, guys, take care.